Now, Erie's premier podcast. News about music, health, and what's happening. It's Breakfast with Nat the Hat in the 814, sponsored by Erie Insurance.
Well, welcome to podcast number 19. We're transcending shadows, embracing the eclipse in the 814. Now, we have been anticipating this event since 2023, and we are less than a month away from this rare event. The center line of the 2024 eclipse will pass over Lake Erie, which means we will get a front row seat for this extraordinary show. I cannot think of two better guests to have on the show than one of our favorite local comedians, Aaron Forsyth.
Hello.
Hello, Aaron.
Ahoy.
And Director of Communications, Chris Temple from Visit Erie, Erie County's tourism promotion agency.
Yes.
Good to have you,
hello,
too.
Hello.
Well, welcome to Breakfast with Nat the Hat, the 814. Aaron?
Yes.
You pretty much have done it all in the 814.
I have.
Singer, songwriter, producer, graphic designer, optimist, pessimist.
Yes.
Let's start from the beginning. Give us a little background on you.
Okay. I guess I cut my teeth as a teenager in the 80s, the 90s, doing music. I was a bass player in a lot of rock bands around town. I even met you way back in the 90s, too, doing the morning show. Yes. We talked about hair.
Yes.
I survived that decade, went through another decade of making music, making my own records, doing things. I was in a band called Sea Hollies in the early 2000s. That did very well. Pipe Yard did very well after that. The band I think we were talking about back then was Cyclone was the one.
It was.
Yeah, that was, yes. Things
that
made
was
it
some
through.
Long hair.
Yes. So I made a lot of records, made a lot of friends, made a lot of maybe enemies, I don't know, but made a lot of adventures, a lot of stories along the way. Created albums. That was I was in for. I was in for the music, and and if you'll see on my website, which we'll talk about later, but my discography, which I'm pretty proud of, even though I've left music, I left behind a legacy. Well, if you could call it a legacy, I call it maybe a junkyard of music albums, And even after Pipe Yard, I actually solo records, Letters to the Dead myself, Rebel Souls, I was doing all these myself, playing all the instruments on them myself and doing everything. So I ended up with amassing, 14 of my solos records. But then along the way, there's movie soundtracks, there's scores.
I know.
And then I produced.
Me.
Yes, I know. I did all this. And here I am. A normal musician would go, Aaron, why did you get rid of it? Why would you do that? What are you doing? Why would you get rid of that hat? Well, I got rid of the hat and past now I'm thinking I'm going on my 7th year here of stand-up comedy.
Yes. Well, let's talk to Chris. Chris,
yes.
By the way, her and I were talking about, going to see bands, being part of the Doc Sider Sherlock's crew.
Yes.
Tell us about your background, Chris.
Oh my goodness! Well, I feel like I'm in the presence of greatness here with Nat the Hat here, and then with Aaron and his musical legacy. I remember the Sea Hollies, so that's.
Oh, you do?
I do. Yes.
Oh,
I
yeah.
do remember them. So I am born and raised in Erie, lived here all my life, and I've been with Visit Erie for 23 years now.
Wow. As old as you are, Aaron.
Yeah, okay.
I started working when I was 12. So.
That is great. Well, it's time to talk about the big deal, on April 8th. And Chris, you got to tell us, why is this such a rare event for Erie?
Oh my gosh. I didn't realize how rare of an event it was until people told me that it is a rare event. You need to pay attention. So Erie was in partiality of an eclipse in 2017, and that was nothing compared to what 2024's eclipse is going to be. I guess the most important thing is this is a once-in-a-lifetime event. This won't happen again in Erie until the year 2144. So unless I decide to cut my head off and freeze it and preserve it, I'm not going to be around for the next one. Yeah.
So what time are we looking at on the 8th? Let's start from the very beginning.
So the very beginning. So everything starts at 2:02 p.m. And that's when the shadow of the moon is going to start its path across the sun. Now, totality starts at 3:16 p.m., and that lasts for 3 minutes and 41 seconds, which I've become quite the eclipsophile over these past few months.
Ooh, that's a new word.
It is. It's a new word to me, too.
I like it.
Eclipsophile, yes.
Wow.
So the closer a destination is to the center line of the path of totality, the maximum time of totality you can experience is 4 minutes. So for us to experience 3 minutes and 41 seconds, that's pretty darn close. Yeah,
Sure, like 99% at least.
It's fantastic, yeah. And I mean, Erie's the only major city in Pennsylvania that is in the path of totality. The entire Commonwealth will experience some sort of partiality. The only one doing totality is going to be Erie.
Aaron,
I don't know what to say.
we're here for the beer, right?
Maybe. Yes.
It's
yes.
crazy. There is Eclipse beer out there, yes.
Is there Eclipse beer?
Of
There
course.
is, of course there is.
Wow.
Yes.
So what are the odds, Chris,
Oh boy.
of a cloudy day?
Well,
That makes me nervous.
I was wondering about that.
let me reach into my back Eclipseophile pocket and I will tell you.
Beautiful.
So we actually had a really good discussion with local meteorologist Tom DeVecchio. He's fantastic. And we also met with some of our local astronomy professors from Barron and Edinburgh. And actually, Erie has a 46.3% chance of being sunny. That's not bad.
That's good odds.
mean, those are-
if you were to take
they're
that to the
fair.
casino,
That's
you,
about
you'd be up.
that's about 50-50.
Exactly. And the interesting thing is we were curious as a staff for Visit Erie and thought, you know what, let's look back 3 to 5 years. And we looked through our cameras and found photos from early April in years past. And
thought of that.
4 out of 5 of them were all sunny, blue skies.
So I wonder if you can bet the odds at the casino.
Why not?
Oh,
the
I'm
Eclipse.
sure they have over-unders,
Why
right?
not? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about some of the viewing areas in Erie County, Chris.
Okay. So pretty much anywhere is going to be good viewing because the sun is going to be high up enough in the sky and above the tree line. You can pretty much watch it from anywhere, your own backyard. Even if, like Perry Square is a viewing location. Doesn't matter, the trees, the sun's high up. We went out last year on April 8th just to see where exactly the sun would be. I mean, it is high in the sky.
So you're talking that Visit Erie has been working on this for well over a year, or
More than a year.
Talk more.
More than a year, probably I'd say we started in December of 2022.
Wow.
It's crazy. I know. We didn't really even know about it until
That's what I was going to say. How did this all come about?
our counterparts at Visit Rochester actually gave us a call and said, "Hey, did you guys hear about this eclipse?" And we're like, "What?" And we had no idea. No
Wow.
idea.
Okay.
And now, more than a year later, and we're all just like, everything is about the eclipse. I mean, I'm living and breathing it every single day.
I know. You got all your stuff set up in here. She was like, Nat, I've been doing, I'm on this show, that show. I mean, she is.
Really?
She is the Eclipseinator.
Eclipseophile or Eclipseinator.
The
Yes.
Eclipseinator. I like
Yes,
that too.
I will darken your doorstep and talk about it.
So let's talk visitors. Last I heard, we were at 85% capacity of people coming into town. But
Correct.
you walk through the doors today of the Renaissance Center and looks at me and says, "Oh, there's not barely
Big ol'
anything
update.
left."
Yeah.
Yes.
So we've got about 4,500 hotel rooms across Erie County, and we are at 95% occupancy right now. Wow. So there's still some rooms, but they are few and far between.
Are they coming in for the weekend?
Most
It
of
would
them
be
are.
really nice. You know what I mean? Like, be ready to go.
Yeah, the pre-weekend.
Yeah.
Because it's
A
falling
total
on a
eclipse
Monday,
of the
right?
heart.
It
Yes.
falls right. It falls on the Monday. So we've been encouraging visitors to make a weekend of it. Come up on the 5th, stay for a few days, and then even stay over on the 8th, so they don't have to deal with all the traffic. Stay an extra day on the 9th. So our job is to work with visitors and giving them reasons why they need to stick around.
Wow.
Yeah.
So give us some reasons. Maybe Keller's is a reason?
I don't know if he's going to open that day. I would like to. Maybe we'll nudge him.
Yes.
Maybe, yes.
I
Let's
know
nudge
Bobby,
Bobby.
too. I would hope that he would be open that weekend because he usually
Oh, he is on the weekend,
Yeah.
yes.
But
Right.
maybe he might want to extend something into Sunday or maybe do something special on Monday. I mean, who knows?
You know, if I wasn't married, this would be the perfect opportunity to get married. Like,
Oh,
how
like
many
during the
people?
eclipse. Oh,
how
there's
many
one.
people are getting married during the
Or
eclipse?
proposals.
A proposal?
Right,
Sure.
yes.
What else
Exactly.
could you do on Eclipse Day?
Pickpocket?
I did not hear that.
Now listen, if you look through these glasses, anybody could pickpocket you. That's all I'm going to say.
Yes.
Chris brought me in my very own Eclipse glasses, and I went to put them on, and they are black.
You cannot see a thing. And they are branded with our campaign slogan, the ultimate sunblock. We thought that was pretty cool.
Oh, yes. And I love all the billboards. I am counting down with you at the billboard.
Isn't that amazing?
At 12th and Green Garden.
Oh, yeah.
Every morning I come in, I'm like, I'm one day closer to the eclipse.
Our friends at Lamar have been fantastic with our billboard messaging, and we actually have it timed out. So leading up to the eclipse, it'll be a countdown. Then we'll have safety messaging about, traffic, things like that. And then after the eclipse, as people are leaving, it'll be, hey, don't forget to come back and stay and visit our beaches, something to give them an incentive to return.
Nice.
Yeah.
So what is the economic impact?
Oh,
Tell us, is it
a toughie.
Millions of dollars?
No, actually, that's a tough one.
Sure.
If we're expecting anywhere from, the state is expecting anywhere from 56,000 to 200,000 people. So if you figure the average family is going to spend maybe $300 a day. That includes lodging, meals, whatever. I mean, we could see anywhere.
95%, that's huge.
I mean, we could see $53 million and up. I mean, you figure all of these people, they're not just going to come in and not spend money. Most likely, they're at least going to spend money on gas because you want to leave on a full tank and be prepared because of traffic, anticipated traffic delays. People are going to want snacks and food, and hopefully they'll visit other, attractions in the area.
Just think of the restaurants, the bars, every place, just packed with people and enjoying Eclipse music.
And imagine the entrepreneurial spirits that will be like parked on the side of the road selling T-shirts or renting out their houses for Airbnbs.
That's right. Get your permits now.
Yes.
How about Chris? She really keeps everything intact.
Oh,
legally,
yeah.
doesn't she? She's been there for 20 plus years.
Plus, yeah.
At Visit Erie. Everyone will need their glasses.
Yes, but you won't need them during the totality. You can take them off during totality. It's from when it starts to cover the sun and then when it starts to go away. Then you have to have your glasses on. But when there's totality and it's completely dark, you can take your glasses off.
I always thought growing up, when they used to talk about the eclipse that, they were just saying, making you scared. But it's true, though, Chris. You got to have your blinders on because that's what they remind me of.
You do. You can't just wear regular sunglasses. That's not going to protect your eyes at all. I mean, even if you look up at the sun now without sunglasses, you can't look at it. I mean, you'll do permanent damage.
Right. Tell us, you've got some places where these glasses will be located.
We do. And actually, starting March 25th, Country Fair is going to be giving away a free pair of glasses with every purchase. So that's pretty cool. At all
Country Fairs?
All 40 of their Erie County locations. Yeah.
That's huge.
We worked with them on that as a way to how can we get glasses out, to a large number of people. Convenience store is a no-brainer. So the folks at Country Fair were wonderful to work with. They're going to be giving their own branded pair of Country Fair glasses. But yeah, beginning March 25th, you'll be able to get a free pair with every purchase.
I envision a slushie and a pair of glasses.
Right? And those fun little pizzas.
A nice little pizza? Sure. Start with a breakfast sandwich.
Right, yeah.
We might have to come back for another pair.
But if you don't want to do the Country Fair thing, Visit Erie is going to be giving away Eclipse glasses. April 5th through the 8th, while supplies last, we will have them. And again, this is really to capture for visitors. We'll have them on the Interstate 90 Welcome Center near the Pennsylvania-New York border. We'll also have them at the I-79 rest stop northbound between Sagertown and Edinburgh. And then we'll also have them at the Erie Visitor Center, which is inside the Tom Ridge Environmental Center.
Oh, there are several places we can get them without having to log on and purchase.
Yeah, there are different places around town that are selling the glasses. I know Wegmans has them, I think, for $1.99, and there's some other places. I know Erie News Now is having a big preview party or watch party at the Erie Sports Center, and they're giving away 5,000 of their branded glasses to their party people.
Everybody's getting a piece of the eclipse, for sure.
Seems that way, yes.
Now, you can also find them on the interstates, country fairs. There's a lot of other locations. How about merch? Speaking of merch, we were just talking about merch.
I actually just put together a blog that's going to go on our Erie Eclipse website about what kind of merch is out there. So Erie Apparel, God love them. They are Visit Erie's official Eclipse merch distributor. So they took our logo that's branded on the glasses there, and they made it into T-shirts. But they have other designs, as well as like T-shirts, hoodies, stickers, glassware. You know, they say like "I got mooned" in Erie, PA, things like that. So
I love it.
We were talking to them just to see how things were going, and originally they were just doing pre-sale orders. They had over 4,800 pre-sale orders. They said it's just nuts already. And their merch hasn't even hit their stores yet.
People are going to be happy with their merch because
crazy.
80% of my T-shirts are from them, and they're really a soft, really good material. They don't shrink.
I have a couple of them too. Yeah.
I don't like the scratchy stuff.
No.
Theirs are so soft.
They figured it out.
Now, Chris, how many glasses did Visit Erie get?
We purchased 30,000 Eclipse glasses, and we bought them more than a year ago, and they're already all spoken for.
Wow.
No, it's crazy.
So let's talk about some of the events that are planned on that day.
Oh my gosh, where to start? I'll start with one of the bigger ones. So Lake Erie Speedway is having a huge Eclipse viewing party / festival right on the Speedway. I mean, they've got plenty of room. They've got all that, that parking lot space. And it's a big, wide open area. They're having a huge event. Lake Erie Wine Country is having an event called Lights Out. It's all weekend, and it's all 21 wineries in Wine Country. They are doing wine pairings with Eclipse-themed food, which I thought was kind of cool. So all the wineries are getting in on the game.
Eclipsed food.
It's not going to be moon pies and bags of sun chips. I think they're going to be a little more creative.
Gee, I didn't even think of that one, but there you go. Okay.
I know. I'm trying to put my head together on this one. Interesting. So those are two of the things.
Those are two out of like 40 events that we have that we know of. The Mill Creek Mall is having a parking lot party. The casino is having a parking lot party and concert with Chris Higbee in the second level parking lot. Peak and Peak is having a big watch party. Lake Erie Arboretum at Frontier Park is having total eclipse of the park. Or is it Park Side of the Moon? There's a lot of parks that are having different events.
You can find all the events right on your webpage, correct?
We do, yes. It's erieeclipse2024.com. Or you can just go to Visit Erie. Either one, it'll take you to the same one. And that whole website has everything you want to know about Erie Eclipse, whether it's events, public viewing locations, glasses information, merch information. It's all on there.
Perfect. What steps is our local government taking to prepare for this day?
Well, we have been working with local government, transportation, and safety officials from the get-go, in addition to education and pretty much every sector that's out there, making sure that the entire community is working together to make this a safe and enjoyable time for everybody, residents and visitors. So transportation, we've been talking to the City of Erie Police, Pennsylvania State Police, Sheriff's Office, you name it. We've talked to PennDOT, and Mill Creek Police to explain the gravity of this, that it's not just some minor event, that it really is a big deal. It took them talking to their counterparts in other destinations that were in the path of totality for the 2017 eclipse. And they were like, dude, this is no joke. You guys, as much as you're going to prepare, expect just traffic nightmares. Smaller towns, they're not equipped to handle that kind of traffic. Places like Dallas and Cleveland and, Buffalo, Niagara Falls, they're used to that.
Lots of highways.
Smaller cities like Erie and, other areas that were in the path for 2017, we have one road, one interstate that goes north-south, and that's Interstate 79. 90 goes east-west, and both Cleveland and Buffalo are also in the path. So where are all those people going to go? They're going to be on the interstates. So Pennsylvania State Police, City Police, Mill Creek, they have been wonderful, and PennDOT, wonderful to work with. They all have a plan, whether it involves messaging on the interstates to extra patrolmen, they have it ready to go. But regardless, you're going to have, thousands of people on these roads. The folks in like Kentucky.
This is like Woodstock.
It's crazy. Yes. It's
really
think tall ships times 20. Or picture yourself being stuck in Upper Peachtree traffic all day. That's what they're telling us to expect, is from the time of totality ends, because that's when there's a mass exodus. Everybody's going to leave as soon as totality is over with. They're not going to wait until it's completely, removed. That's when all the traffic's going to get onto the roads. It could take up to 12 hours for all of that traffic to clear out, because Erie's a smaller city and we don't have all of those roadways like the major metropolitan areas do. But that was a long-winded way of answering your question.
I think a bicycle would be best.
Right.
Yes.
Or, think of some other ways.
Hot air balloon. Just go right over it.
Oh, that's on my bucket list. That would be great. I would love to watch the eclipse from there. Ooh. I did hear that the Bicentennial Tower is doing a special viewing party from the top of the tower. They're only selling 47 tickets, really odd number. I don't know if they put 47 people at the very top and went, nope, we can't fit 3 more to make it 50, but that would be cool, wouldn't it, to watch the eclipse from the top of the tower? Yeah.
Well, my friend Sam Kitsey just put up a thing on the internet that made me laugh, and he said he'll give you a ride on his boat, some Smith hot dogs. There you go, right over there, Aaron, for you. Smith hot dogs, your glasses for the event, and I think it all totaled about $10,000 a person.
That's not bad.
Right.
So he was like, "I'm going to get my boat in the water by then," and I just laughed. I'm like, that. So I'm wondering how many boaters will be out on the bay.
Yeah. Well, we're at the whim of Mother Nature. We never know what it's going to be like. If it's anything like February's been, I think we're going to be okay. But we have been working with Border Patrol, Coast Guard. They have also been working with city police, state police to make sure there's enough coverage. So state police will have their boat in the water in addition to their helicopter in the air. So there'll be assistance available for the Coast Guard because, who wouldn't want to watch it from the waters of a Great Lake? I mean, I would.
Oh, that's the way. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be wonderful. And, and if people don't want to take their boat out, the one thing that the city of Erie Police Spazzarni was saying, you're going to get people out there in their canoes, kayaks, whatever, floating vessel they can get in to have this experience because it's so magnificent.
Well, we definitely won't be putting our toes in that water.
I'm not. Heck no, I'm not doing that. No.
Forget the inner tube. Thank you very much.
No, I'll be on dry land.
So how about the kids? I know that the city schools, are they in school at home that day? Is everybody off? I mean,
pretty much. So we did talk early on with the superintendent of the Northwest Tri-County Intermediate Unit, which oversees 15 school districts in the area. And I think all of them are off that day, especially the city, except Fort LaBeouf, I think, dismisses at noon. I think General McLean might be remote, but no one's going to be on the roads. School buses won't be on the roads. That goes also for the parochial schools, too. So the timing of this couldn't have been worse when it comes to students because when totality starts at 3:16, there's all these school buses, kids walking home from school. Not ideal. After school activities taking place, it's just added traffic that if you can avoid it, do. So they're not going to be in school that day.
Chris Temple, Director of Communications for Visit Erie on the show, talking about the big eclipse on April 8th. Now we talked about lodging. We're at 95% right now, which is huge. Oh. What's the astronomy gurus doing? Tell us, you said something about NASA coming.
What? Oh my goodness. Yes. So Professor Nicholas Lang, he's over at Mercer University. He used to work for NASA. And he's got his connections, and I don't know the specific details, but I do know that there are 8 representatives from NASA that will be in Erie at different locations, depending on their specialty, whether it's a media specialist from NASA or education, things like that. And they have designated Erie as an official sunspot for the eclipse, which I guess that's a good thing.
Seeger, Sunspot Baby. I'm thinking of all the tunes that we'll be playing.
Exactly. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
So, the astronomers are really excited about it. Dr. David Hurd over at Edinburgh University, he's got a whole line of programming for the eclipse. And the cool thing that Penn West, I should say, I'm still old school. Penn West Edinburgh is having their own eclipse watch party. But the cool thing about that is you probably know that Edinburgh is committed to servicing disabled students, of all disabilities and challenges. And they are providing ways for the visually impaired to experience the eclipse, which I think is just fantastic.
Yes.
And they have other setups as well. So I think that's really cool that Dr. Hurd and his team is putting things like that together. I know that they have some books that explain the eclipse on Braille, but they also have, I believe, tablets that they're going to use so they can also experience what totality is like. Jim Gavio is the head of the Yawn Planetarium over at Penn State Barron. He and his team, Dr. Darren Williams, I have never known so many astronomers in my entire life. I can name them all. They have been wonderful. Penn State Barron has been running eclipse shows at the planetarium every Saturday. Every Saturday leading up to the eclipse, they're doing things. And actually, I'm going to be up there in a few weeks talking to a group of young professionals inside the planetarium and just, doing my thing and eclipsifying my way up there. So, everybody's really getting on board with it. It's exciting.
How about the Erie Planetarium? Do we still have the planetarium here in town?
It used to be the one over at the Hagen History Center,
yes.
And it used to be in the former carriage house, and that is what's at Barron.
Okay.
So Jim Gavio used to run it over at the Hagen Center, and years ago, they moved it up to Penn State Barron.
Well, I think we need to know all the safety measures for the total eclipse in the 814.
Oh, my
Help us out on that one.
goodness. Well, first and foremost, don't look directly at the sun without proper eyewear.
Right.
Common sense. You don't do it during a regular sunny day. Don't do it during the eclipse,
Mm-hmm.
One of the things, maybe safety-wise, is be prepared because not only will it get completely dark, the temperature is going to drop 10 to 20 degrees.
Oh, I hadn't thought of that part.
Mm-hmm. So wear layers or bring a blanket, things like that, just to make sure that you're prepared. And also, have an emergency kit, especially if you're going to be sitting in traffic. Maybe pack some bottled water, a blanket, snacks, things for the kids to do. So, traveling with a family and you're just sitting there, you got to have something for, keep the kids occupied. So I don't know if that's for safety. Maybe it's sanity. That's a sanity measure for the parents traveling.
Sidetrack the children.
Right? Yes.
Oh, the sanity. Besides the eclipse, Chris, I wanted to talk to you about tourism for Erie in 2024.
Sure.
Now, I know the eclipse is a big deal, but what else is going on?
There's nothing going on after April 8th. I'm going home.
Yeah, vacation.
No. I'm kidding. And
sure, you got to, the summer in the city is wonderful. There's so many great things to do down on the lake. Yeah. So I'm curious on where all our people from out of town come from.
Sure. So our major market is Pittsburgh. That would be our major market. Well, because Cleveland and Buffalo, even though they're the same distance, they're both on Lake Erie. Pittsburgh has the three rivers, but they don't have beaches or things like that, and they don't have the fishing opportunities that Lake Erie offers. So Pittsburgh is our major market. Cleveland, Buffalo, they're secondary. We do see, especially when during the holidays, Canada shopping, no sales tax on clothing and apparel in Pennsylvania, so we had a lot of the Canadians, New Yorkers coming in to do their shopping. We've started recently reaching into other markets, Columbus, Ohio, Harrisburg, Johnstown and Altoona, Youngstown, to try and widen our reach kind of beyond Pittsburgh, Cleveland, Buffalo, which have been our traditional markets for years, for as long as I can remember.
So how much money was generated in 2023 with tourism?
Oh, that's a tough one because we haven't gotten the numbers in yet from the state tourism office. I know. Oh, I hope my boss isn't listening because I'm terrible with numbers. But in 2022, I believe tourism statewide brought in, I want to say $74 billion statewide. So for Erie, I believe we're at $1 billion in visitor spending, but I mean,
That's huge.
Math and I just no. Let's talk about the Eclipse.
That's
some
why.
more.
That's why you're the director of communications.
That's right.
So I'm going to eclipse over to you, Aaron, because I know that you and I had talked in the past about all of a sudden you change your whole flight path
Right.
from music
Right.
into comedy.
Okay.
How did that happen? Like
Well,
that's a total
A
eclipse.
healthy dose of failure and low self-esteem. How's that? No,
That's a start.
it starts with that. But
Yeah, let's go
when
back.
when you go to the end of the musical rainbow per se, when you've experienced pretty much what you can do.
Aaron, how many years were you in the music scene here in the 814?
Gosh, so making 30 years, probably 30. Yeah, 30 something.
Erie used to have a fantastic music scene.
Yes.
Do you have a brother too?
Oh, I have an older brother. Yes, he was in a lot of my bands.
Yeah, what was
Chris.
it? Chris.
Yes.
I remember Chris.
Yeah.
I remember Chris more than I remember you.
Yes, he was the more talky one on the radio when we get him there. Yes.
Yes. Okay. I
Yes.
gotcha. So the pandemic hits.
The pandemic hit. Well, the pandemic. That's kind of
Is that what really like?
Well,
put
I
you
don't
in
know
a-
if it was for everybody else, but for me, it was kind of like a scaring point. Like I had already been doing music on the side. I was kind of tapering off, but I was doing comedy a lot too. But the pandemic kind of made us all kind of what's important, what's not. Well, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? So I was just like, that's it. I'm just going to run to the watering hole. I can't, put half my eggs in three different baskets. I got to put them all into one and just keep going. And also, too, music was kind of just losing its luster for me.
Now, were you around during the junior days? Junior's last one?
Oh yeah. Yeah. His last hurrah, you might say.
I was going to say.
Yes. and I was. Okay.
Were you opening shows?
I was doing little guest spots here and there.
Okay.
Nothing crazy. By then, at that point, I was kind of new to it. But I was going there a lot because of Rob Neville. Do you know him? He used to slide me tickets every now and then. He didn't know this, but he had saved me because I was going. I don't want to say clinical depression, but I was done with music. I was kind of like, oh my gosh, I don't know what I'm going to do. And the one time, I don't know if it's an endorphin rush. It's something that happens when you go to when you're made to laugh like that. And I laughed a lot. He got me a lot of shows, and I was laughing, and this endorphin was happening with me. And my girlfriend noticed it, and she kept edging me. We got to go back. We're going back. So we're going 3 times a week, and lo and behold, I was feeling joy again. And then I was like, I kind of want to do that. It's the same mechanism as performing, comedy is, except it's way more direct than music. It's way more a quicker infusion. And that feeling that it gave me, that weird dopamine rush that it gave me of leaving there, like when I was leaving a comedy club, and to this day, I feel that way. When I leave a comedy club or a gig, I have this weird dopamine adrenaline going, and I'm kind of giggling to myself. And
that's what I think Chris has with this whole Eclipse thing.
yes,
She's got her endorphins going.
oh
too.
yeah.
You know?
There is a crash afterwards, but I do.
I think
But I
that's
love it.
April 9th for her.
I can feel it.
Yes, but I gotta say, laughing was the best medicine, and really, but being a performer and a creative person like myself, I had to keep going, so I had to do it myself. So I wanted to give it back, but also keep performing.
How do you feel out in audience? Like with music, you get up there, we play instruments, we sing, we do our thing.
All right.
And, everybody loves us, they're singing along. But comedy's different.
Yes. Oh, that's different.
Like you get up there, do you zone in on the crowd prior to doing your gig?
I peep it out a little bit, but generally I want to be
Just like
surprised.
and if you're going to peep out the eclipse,
Yeah.
you better have your glasses on.
It's the same mechanism, but here's the thing. When you're with a band, you've got 4 or 5 other people there. You've got an instrument. You're holding a guitar. You got all these other things. You're riding on the laurels of a group expression. Comedy is scary. Like,
It is.
I thought I was going to pull it off like, oh, I'm Mr. Rockstar. I can go in there and do it. No, I bombed. I was bombing for a lot of years, you know. I mean, I was doing good at times and bombing other times, but it's literally like, imagine high school gym class getting pantsed. And what are you going to do?
I don't have to imagine.
Right. We've all been pantsed in gym class.
We've all been there.
It's that feeling. So it feels like that. And you got to dig your way out of that hole, you know. But if you get them laughing, you get them moving, and it's a bigger win. It's a weird, strange thing.
Do you actually talk to the audience?
Of course.
You know what I mean? Like, do you
Almost
pick
to a
out
fault.
people and say,
Yeah.
they're not?
Yeah. I mean, in the early days, I was petrified to do that. But no, now I do. Now I do crowd work. I work it. I kind of free flow with it and kind of just make every night different, you know, if I can.
That's right. Now, Lisa Chimeni Foster, I had her
Oh,
on.
yeah. Good egg. We've done many shows
Love
together.
the glam ham. And, you know, she talked a great deal about you, too.
Oh, no.
So both of you do a lot of stand-up
Yes.
opening shows down at Keller's for Bobby.
Yes.
Tell me some of your favorites.
Ooh, well, I thought Tom Cotter was fun. I just did a weekend with Adam Ferrara. He's a bigger actor kind of guy.
Yeah.
He was cool. He was real cool. You know, honestly, when you're opening for somebody bigger, I just kind of bask in their aura and kind of just ride the wind behind them, you know, and it's my job to just kind of keep the night moving on. But I don't... See, I even with music, I've been in the same room with important people, and the last thing I want to do is fanboy out and get all... You know, so what
I did that earlier with Nat.
Oh, did you?
Totally fangirled on her. Yeah.
I do the opposite. So I'll just kind of kick back and just fly on the wall and just kind of just smile and act like I've been there before, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't want to, you know, seem like a piker.
So what are your thoughts on the Eclipse?
Mine?
Yeah.
Oh, geez. I wasn't getting my hope. It's funny. My girlfriend has been all into it. She ordered off Amazon before these were even out, the glasses. She's all into it. It's a whole thing. And then I keep reading articles, and it's building, and it's building, it's building. And here I'm... All right, here's pessimistic me. I was like,
optimist?
it's going to rain.
Pessimist?
I was like, it's going to be no bigger than... It can't be bigger than what, Ribfest crowd? I mean, what are we dealing with here? Well, you know.
No, not right
Au
now.
contraire, mon
I
frère.
know. Well, now that I'm hearing this, I'm seeing articles, I'm hearing people talk, and I'm like, oh, I really missed the mark there. It's going to be big. It's a big deal. It's a real big deal.
It is. How about I noticed she's got the 8 big things
Oh, yeah.
on her. There's 5. Okay, I thought it said, there are 5. All right, give us these 5 big things about the total eclipse.
So we wanted to come up with a fun and engaging way for residents to kind of get on board and do their part. So we came up with what we're calling the Shine campaign. 5 simple things you can do to ensure that our community is at its best on April 8th. And so the acronym is SHINE. And so
let's start with the S.
we'll start with S. So S is schedule your appointments for another day. If you have a standing appointment or if you normally go to the gym on a Monday.
It's not a good day for a colonoscopy, I think.
No day is good for that. Believe me.
Okay.
H, have a plan. Get your gas and groceries in advance. Maybe get them a week before or maybe on that Thursday, April 4th. You know, get any prescriptions that you need to pick up. Have a plan. Get that stuff done ahead of time.
What's your plan, Aaron?
I like the food idea. I'm with you because I don't want to be, you know, in Wegmans or something like that with a crowd like that.
You don't want to. You don't want to get in a
sounds like
fight
nightmare.
over a pomegranate. No, you don't want to do that. No, do it early. Yeah. Do it early.
Okay, that's the H.
Okay, so I is inform yourself and others. Know what's going on, whether it's eclipse related or not. Just know what's happening in our area and tell your friends, your family, your neighbors. Tell a visitor you might run into and just, you know, keep yourself informed.
See, that's a good thing
Okay.
because I could see some people getting up and saying, what is going on today? This whole town is like under siege.
Sure. Or if you're at the convenience store and you run into someone and they're like, oh, hey, can you tell me where this is and is it any good? Is it fun? You know, things like that. So just, you know, make yourself aware of what's going on. Mm-hmm. Okay. N, navigate traffic or don't. Stay off the major roadways. Leave the interstates to our visitors. being residents, I mean, we know the shortcuts, we know the back roads. Use them or don't. You can stay home if you like. We're certainly not saying stay home, stay home. We're just encouraging you to be smart about it. And if you can see the sun from your backyard, might want to consider just staying put.
I like it.
Okay.
Well, I'm out in Girard,
Oh, yeah.
which I can get down to the lake just fine. But I'm trying to think what would be the best mode of transportation, because it sounds like that's going to be the big issue. Because I can just see everybody coming off the interstate on Route 20.
Yeah.
I have witnessed, Girard bumper to bumper traffic when something happens on the interstate.
Oh, sure.
So they all get off on the, and yet I don't think you want to be on a road when the eclipse is happening.
Probably not smart. And especially, and you hate to think of there's someone who doesn't know what's going on, but if they're traveling on the interstate and all of a sudden it goes completely dark, we risk people, pulling off on the side of the road or stopping, and so we're navigate traffic, be smart, be safe. So that's N. So we're at Shin right now. So let's go full to shine now.
E
is enjoy the moment. Erie's lucky to be a part of this. I mean, let's celebrate with our residents, with our visitors. Be nice, smile.
Amen.
Extend an act of kindness. I mean, this is our time to shine and put our best foot forward, because with all of these people coming into our area, we want them to come back.
I agree, Chris.
Maybe not all at once again, because that's kind of crazy, but we want them to come back. Experience the beaches, go to the wineries, go to the breweries, go to Splash Lagoon, the zoo, et cetera, et cetera. So this is our opportunity. We are going to be in a national spotlight. It's not just Erie media. I love them to death, but we've got media outlets coming in from across the country. So
do the animals have to have special glasses on? I'm wondering.
They're nocturnal. They'll be okay. Yeah. They'll be all right. Yeah.
I just kind of thought about that.
Oh, yeah.
They can hang out.
I don't want the lemurs looking at the sun.
No, but I tell you what, though, I did hear that it could be a little confusing for your pets, because it is going to go
That's
dark
another
really
thing.
quick.
I know.
And it could throw off your pet's
parakeets.
routine. Like your pet might be like, why am I not being fed? Why aren't they sleeping? You know what I mean? Just something to think about.
And speaking of that, don't forget, you are an hour behind if you didn't set your clock this weekend.
Is that this week?
Yes. Saturday night you have to do
Wow.
it. Yes.
Spring ahead. Fall behind.
Yeah. So, this is Sunday morning, and if you didn't set your clock ahead, you're behind the times, right? Do I want to say that, or you're ahead of yourself? No, you are behind. I don't know. How does that work, Aaron?
You
Help me
look
out.
at. I trust my phone.
Me too.
Trust the phone. Yes. Or an elder.
Yes.
Or an elder. Oh, it's great having you both on. Aaron, tell me what's coming up for you.
Well, a lot of gig. Let me think.
Have you been going to Columbus?
Yes, and I'm in Cleveland this weekend. What I'm going to do, though, if you go to my website, aaronforsyth.com, I'll have dates there, so I don't know when this is going to air.
Perfect.
That's probably the best bet. And keep tuning in every now and then. Things rolling quick. In the comedy land, things roll in quick. So there could be nothing there, and 2 days later, there's 10 things there. It's always hurry up and wait.
I'm thinking you need an Eclipse show. I don't know. I really do.
Now that it's getting put out there, I'm thinking, wow, maybe
we need to talk to Bobby about getting you on the stage for a 5 o'clock.
I think we should.
Oh, that would be
6
interesting.
o'clock.
Yes,
And
you could
what
do an
I-
illusion.
Oh yeah. I'm going to make the sun disappear.
Right?
Wow.
Exactly.
Just go on outside with your glasses.
Yeah.
What's the time? 3:00 what?
3:16.
3:16.
3:16.
Yeah.
3:16. That's got a lot of connotations. 3:16.
I think is adding on to what you were saying though. I really think we should just make people. Because you're right, people are coming to Erie here. So I'm going to make it a point, instead of me grumbling, what is all this traffic? I'm going to go, hey, I'm going to wave to cars. I'm going to open doors for people. I'm going to be that weird guy. Let's do it.
Love it,
Let's
Aaron.
spread a little Erie love.
I
Let's be
do that
silly gooses.
all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially when they give me the middle finger.
I walk into Starbucks every time with
And
my
I
hands
wave.
up. Yeah. And they look at me like they don't care. But I love
Sorry, my
making
car
grand
stalled
entrances and getting weird and smiling just because I want people to remember, remember that time we were in Erie? That weird guy?
He was so nice
Right.
and
And they'll
friendly.
remember Erie.
That's right.
So I want people to do that here.
And that really is true.
Yeah.
I mean, we do. Let's not be grumbly. And Let's be humbly, not grumbly. And,
Exactly. Be proud. Be proud. I know people are, they diss our town. I've been here all my life, and I have my grumble moments too. But, this is a once in a lifetime thing.
I get it. And this winter, I was away for many years. Well, like 11. Yeah. And left in 2011. So, I mean, I came back and the snow's been pretty darn good.
Been really
I mean,
lucky.
I really think we are going to be the sunny side of the world here pretty soon.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think it's going to take but much time for that.
Boy, I tell you, from your mouth to Mother Nature's ear, I hope she hears you come April 8th. I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
Everybody is going to be glued to the weather forecast. I would not want to be DeVecchio right now. I would not
Or John
want to be
Stalen's gonna be like,
Oh, Stalen.
Oh, they're loving it, though. I mean, they're loving it. Yeah.
Yeah, this is their Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, come April 1st, I mean, we'll know definitively what the 8th is going to be like. We'll have more of a definite, okay, we know this is what's going to happen. And then I think is when we're going to see, are people canceling their rooms, or are they just going to come in droves? That's going to be, April 1st is going to be the marker, because we're a week out and you'll have that extended forecast and we'll know.
It's going to be fun.
Crazy. And it's April Fool's, so they could really screw with us.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I didn't
that
think of
too,
that.
right.
I've
That's
done a lot of
cold.
them full jokes in my day. But just let's look for a sunny day. Be sunny, people. Is there anything else you'd like to add? Chris?
Oh my goodness, we covered so much. If anybody has any questions or wants to know more information, again, go to erieeclipse2024.com, or you can always get a hold of Visit Erie. All of our contact information is on there. But I think, we pretty much covered everything. I could keep talking, but yeah, we did. We covered everything.
You can keep talking. We love when you keep talking. So, and there's some great attractions here too. Is Sarah's open by then?
Sarah's opens April 1st.
Oh, lovely.
Yep.
Okay, that's a good.
Okay.
That's good.
They will be open.
Creamland?
I don't know if I'm a Sarah's girl, so I only know when they're opening up.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm just thinking of a blue moon. That's perfect for the eclipse.
It can be.
You know what I mean? Getting your blue moon.
I never thought about that, yeah.
Yeah.
Or go to Denny's and get it too, or even Whippy Dip has it there, yeah.
Oh, the dip.
The Whippy Dip.
Love
1
it.
and 2.
I used to have a girlfriend that lived across from the Whippy Dip on 26th Street. That was bad news for all of us. Every time we were up
Oh,
place,
yeah.
we were across the street at the dip.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we were allowed to ride our bikes because I lived on 26th Street near Liberty, near Sacred Heart. And the only time we were allowed to go that far on our bikes is if we were going to Whippy Dip and brought some back for our parents.
Chris, where'd you go to school?
I went to Sacred Heart.
You went to Sacred Heart? How about high school?
Mercyhurst.
Oh, you were at Mercyhurst.
Yes.
College?
Clarion.
Nice.
Yes.
All right, Aaron. I'm going to throw that one at you. Great school.
J.S. Wilson and McDowell. Yeah, I'm a McDowell guy. I'm a Mill Creek kid.
You're a
Yes.
Trojan boy.
Yes.
I
yes.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Any college?
No college, unfortunately.
Nothing wrong with that. Hey.
No.
I know.
Not at all.
I probably should have, but it was the, it
Did
was
you
the
do any
90s,
musical
80s.
theater or anything in high school?
No. In fact, I was the guy in the
Why?
jean jacket with the cigarette hanging out of his mouth. I
You
was
were
one
my
of those
friend.
guys.
Yeah,
yes.
you were my friend. Okay.
Yes. I made fun of theater people, but now I love theater people and I want more theater people in my life.
You know, I got to tell you, last week I went to Mercyhurst University to see Jessica Vosk, and she is a great Broadway gal.
Okay.
And I have loved her for years. And Dr. Brett Johnson, I had him on the show not too long ago. He's like, Nat, Jessica Vosk, because I'm a theater major. I graduated.
I didn't know that.
I graduated from Gannon. Not going to tell you what year, but I was a theater arts major. So he's like, you got to see. I'm like, oh my gosh. And that show was spectacular. She was awesome. And she's done so much Broadway stuff. And then she did her Carnegie Hall show. Here at Mercyhurst, and I am telling you, the crowd was enthusiastic. It was just a really, really cool show. That's why I thought maybe you were part of.
No.
I mean, I was
would love-
Annie Oakley and Annie Get Your Gun.
Wow.
There.
Wow,
Don't
you're
get me
breaking
started.
the song. No, I was petrified of that back then.
Were you?
Yeah.
With a jean jacket, cigarette.
I know. I
We
was a young
gotcha.
rebel.
Well, thank you, Aaron.
Well, thanks for having me.
Erie comedian extraordinaire, Chris Temple from the director of communications for Visit Erie.
Yeah.
For coming on, the breakfast show with me. And I'm telling you, both of you, it's been a really good experience with both of you. And, I always end the show on a quote. And this quote comes from Frank Close. He says, "An eclipse is a cosmic billiard shot. The planets, the sun, and the moon are arranged in a straight line, and the shadow of the moon falls across the earth. If you're in the dark part of that shadow, you get to see the total eclipse."
Love it.
Yes.
I love it.
Okay.
So I have
borrow
no
that.
idea who Frank Close is, and I'm going to turn around and give you that.
Thank you.
Okay.
I have no idea, but thank you both for being on the show.
Oh, you're the
Thank
best.
you.
And
Thank
I
you.
just want to tell everybody, make it a great week in the 814.
You've been tuned in to Breakfast with Nat the Hat in the 814, sponsored by Erie Insurance on 88.5 and 102.7 LECOM Radio.